Tonight, 5 escapees from the Woodland Hills Youth Development Center are still on the run following 2 nights of rioting and a mass escape from the detention center last week. Here's a look at their photos while the search for them continues. This afternoon, a group gathered outside Woodland Hills to express their concern over the situation inside the facility run by the Department of Children's Services. New at 10 tonight, News Channel 5's Jason Lamb has more on what they had to say. Jason?
Well, Shannon, while the kids did commit felonies to get themselves assigned to Woodland Hills, folks gathered outside the facility today say the bigger problem is the facility's troubled past.
First of all, this is not a protest. This is a movement, this is a visual, this is a prayer moment.
Those that gathered outside the Woodland Hills Youth Development Center Sunday afternoon
Amen.
had no relation to the kids that escaped from inside the center last week.
You guys give me some kind of feedback on why you chose to come out here.
But just ask Clemmy Greenlee.
Well, good, you remember me. I mean, you know I'm still at it then, huh? Whoa.
And she'll say they are family nonetheless.
Those are my kids in there. Not per se by birth, but for se as community.
She and others here make no attempt to hide what the kids did during their escape attempts, both Monday night and Wednesday. But she says a bigger question to ask is why they did it.
What was so horrendous going on in that building to make a whole flock of teenagers in that amount of numbers to want to come out at one time?
She says the riots and escape attempts had more to do with conditions inside the facility and less to do with the teens' criminal pasts, each charged with at least 3 felonies before being admitted to Woodland Hills.
No, it's not going to be about the felon. It's going to be about the community, the parents, and the system to help us get our kids back in order. But first, it started with me before I start pointing at somebody else.
Still, others say there are a lot of questions those escaped teens need to answer.
My request for them is to let us know why you did what you did, and what have you learned from what you did.
Whatever the reason they escaped, Clemmy says the 5 on the run need to turn themselves in.
The longer that you stay out there and you run, the more that it's going to be harder for you.
Bottom line, she says, even with all the questions, there's an answer that spreads beyond those 32 teens.
1, 2, 3. You 32. We love you. Woo! Yes. Prayers out, brother.
On Thursday, Governor Bill Haslam asked the head of the Department of Children's Services, Jim Henry, to submit a report on last week's violence at Woodland Hills. Shannon.
All right, thanks so much, Jason.